I'm Joshua Hanlon here at Brickworld Chicago 2018, and I'm joined by several members of GamerLUG, and they're going to be taking us through their awesome collab here.
I'm Caleb. I'm known as Mass Builder on the internet.
Simon Liu, also Cymox.
I'm Bryce Dempsey, or Brickbuilt Replicas.
Nick Jensen, also known as Nick Brick. And we also have some additional collaborators, Evan Bordessa, Lego Junkie, and Alec Doty. So we're going to show you our collaboration, which is based on Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So first here we got a couple builds from Alec Doty. He created Jager's 416 carbine, little short variant, kind of Area 15 platform rifle. Notoriously known for originally having an ACOG sight so he can shoot long range, but got removed from the game.
A little too powerful.
A little bit. And it's resting atop a bunch of reinforcement planks, which in the game you would fold down over a doorway or a window and just staple it in. It will be there to cover your entrances.
Okay.
So that was kind of the idea with this one. He made it so that you can actually fold it down with all these hinges.
Wow, that's really neat. Yeah. So very, very representative of the game then. Awesome.
Yep.
So then I think we have a build from Simon here.
Yeah. So this is the Magpie, which is one of the devices that Jager, which Alec built, uses. What we tried to do is try to flesh out so each one of us kind of picked one of our favorite characters, and we wanted to build their entire arsenal so that it's not just Nick that has this full loadout. Some of us kind of wanted a bit more, so Alec didn't have time to do it, so I built it for him.
Okay. Yeah, very impressive. So maybe take us through some of the design elements of that and how that came together.
It is basically what it is. It's a anti-entry device system. So it's got a rotatable missile launch, and it's broken, but you could actually technically pick it up and move it, and it sticks on the wall. I did actually try to use the Lego magnets underneath and try to stick it on my fridge, but as I kept building, got heavier and heavier, and I did not have enough magnets, but I did try really hard so that we could actually stick it on things.
That would be a nice fridge ornament there.
It would have been fantastic.
Very nice. So then we'll keep moving around here, and it looks like, Nick, back to some of your builds.
Yeah, so here I have the full loadout of Ella, who is a Polish defense operator. I decided to go with Ella's loadout because I have a little bit of Polish heritage, felt a little connection, so figured I'd go with her loadout in particular. So first we have her special gadget, which is the Geschmalt mine. It's kind of like a disorienting proximity mine. So an attacker walks by it, it blows up. They can't hear, they can't see as well. It'll be hard for them to shoot down enemies, and you'll have the advantage of the upper hand. And some of the interesting parts about that is that it has a little bit of the foam adhesive that expands after you pull the pin. Just as a base, it uses some bubbly looking Lego bricks, quarter domes, and whatnot to make it look like that foam.
Nice foam effect, yeah.
Thank you. So from there, we also have the razor wire, another one of her gadgets. In the game, you just lay it down to do some area coverage, and as the attackers walk through it, they slow down. Okay. And this razor wire uses a bunch of ball joints and also wedge plates to give that razor kind of look. And as you can see, it can be shaped. And there's 32 feet of razor wire here, which is not quite as long as it is in the game, but I thought it was a pretty decent length and got some good coverage here. Next in our loadout is the RG-15 pistol, which is based on the PR-15, a Polish-made handgun. It's, I believe, still in production, or pre-production, still in the prototype stages. So on this one, we got a moving trigger, a moving hammer, which when you pull back on the slide, it will also move if it will not be... Okay, there we go. Or not. You also got a removable magazine. Slides right in there. Let's see if I can get the slide. There we go. Now it's not stuck. And the slide lock also works, so we can click the slide lock and it'll move the slide back forward, chamber around. Additionally, it comes default with a reflex sight, which the dot on the reflex sight there is just a cut-up Lego sticker, a little red dot on there centered in the screen.
Staying purist with the Lego sticker.
I guess if you consider cutting stickers to be purist. So yeah, that's her pistol. Probably my favorite build in her arsenal because like the grip feels super slick and yeah, everything just worked out better than I had expected when I was building it.
Yeah, it's just a really nice looking weapon.
And then next we have the CZ Scorpion Evo carbine, which is just a carbine variant of the Scorpion Evo SMG. So at 33.5 inches long, it's a pretty long carbine, but it still fires a pistol cartridge, the 9x19 Parabellum. So on this one, we got the charging handle that you can pull back and lock into place. Magazine comes out. There we go. Got some rounds on the top. Also has a moving trigger. And the buttstock can be folded in like that and then extended back out to only 2 positions. Unfortunately, it does not fold to the side. I tried to make it fold to the side, but the weight of the stock prevented it from being able to work. Like it would start to sag in the back, and I really did not like that. So instead, I favored a static stock that just looked the part.
Yeah, this turned out beautiful as well.
I forgot to show that you can slap down the charging handle, and it will reset, and it can be swapped over to the other side for a left-handed shooter. So this part of the build took the longest in her arsenal. It took about a week and a half to design and build, but I think it turned out pretty good. And one of the most difficult parts was this handguard, having it super open, octagonal shaped, and hollowed out. So you can kind of see down that length. It's pretty hollow. You can see down the whole length and the whole length of the barrel inside, which is definitely a fun challenge to do.
Right, yeah, not the typical gun design for you.
Exactly. And then finally, to make it clearly Rainbow Six Siege, we got a chibi Ella charm hanging off the left side. You can swing around, and it just hangs there. So yeah, that's Scorpion Evo, and that's Ella's entire loadout.
Okay.
I also created the Lego Rainbow Six Siege logo with our GamerLUG styling in place of Tom Clancy. No disrespect, but we got to make it clear for the collab. So we got the tactical character that goes with the logo. And then the lettering, I tried to make it look accurate to the game. So you have rainbow and white, but then 6 kind of negative of that. It was challenging to do, but I designed it in Lego Digital Designer, just the lettering. And then as I received the lettering pieces from Bricklink, I went ahead and made the backdrop to it to kind of fit with how the lettering had to fit in.
Yeah, and it turned out great. And, keep the theming, on point with GamerLUG there. It's a good idea.
All right, thank you.
So next up is the foldable machine gun, which I wasn't originally planning on building, but Nick basically said that, if someone could build it, I get a high five, or they get a high five. So
a high five from Nick. You can't turn that down.
No, I can't. So yeah, so the design, it has a charging handle, has a trigger, nothing overly special, but the best part is it does fold, and it was an interesting method of trying to do it. So there's actually magnets on the bottom to try to click it, but again, the magnets aren't enough and it kind of droops down, so there's a latch locking mechanism to do it, but it does actually fold back into a nice little case and such, and it was really, really fun to play and figure out how I could actually do it in a relatively small package size.
Right, that's crazy. I mean, he folds up into like a nice looking box there and then folds down to the machine gun. Was there a lot of experimenting with the hinge sections and stuff to figure out exactly how that would fold down? Yeah,
so Nick actually helped me with some of the hinge designs. So when he's in school, we get to build and he doesn't. So he does help us a lot in trying to design this and that. And it was a lot of trying to figure out what would work and figure out the proportions. I ended up having to use just tiles because anything bigger would have been 6 wide, and I wanted to keep it at least reasonable 4 wide plus a bit. But I'm very happy with how this turned out because it's super fun and it's super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent work. Very neat. And then Bryce, I think you're next.
Yeah, I was responsible for building one of the most beloved operators, Recruit, from Rainbow Six Siege. So for the starting part, I wanted to work on some of the impact grenades, but I wanted to not just use a Lowell sphere like you see around here that's using all of these side plates, but I also wanted to add a little detail to it so the pin can actually be removed, and there's a spring on the inside that allows it to actually detonate.
Wow.
And I thought that was kind of a fun thing to do with a cut flex tube, which is slightly not purist, but I thought it was the closest thing you can get to the actual pin. And those things can roll around, they're sturdy enough and such. The logo that I did was mostly because I wanted to use some of the new sandwich tiles that had come out from Lego, and I had gotten a bunch of them in white, and I thought they would look kind of cool as more of a, almost like a mosaics on the side. As well, we've also got the M1014 that Recruit can use. It's equipped, the reflex sight is just lightly resting on there. This is one of Nick's designs that he had shared around, and I made some slight modifications to it. I really liked the way it looked, but I added a reticle in the center so that you could actually see down, and it just rests lightly on the ingot rails. But what's nice about this is it's all, for the first time pretty much for me, sturdy, so you can kind of pick it up and shake this whole entire build around and it'll all pretty much stay intact. It's all got the life-size functions and such. It's got the charging handle on the side that's equipped with a rubber band. The trigger, of course, is working, and this is the first time for me I've actually loaded shells before, so rookie mistake, I actually used to load them in backwards, but these ones can go in underneath and they pretty much hold in the main body of the gun.
Yeah, excellent build. Very impressive. How do you know how long the whole thing is?
I've had this done for a while, but the whole build itself was about 2 weeks, mostly concentrated in the stock part, because this is where I was really experimenting with techniques. Originally I had it hooked up to a ball joint, but the ball joint kept snapping as I was trying to move it around, so I wanted to, Brickworld proof it when the kids try to pick it up and such. So I now have Technic running through the entire thing to make it really sturdy.
Great, yeah, good work.
I built Valkyrie's loadout. So the first thing we have are her black eye cameras. So in the game you throw these up in whatever location you want, and you can use them to try to see where the operator's hiding at. So we got the camera inside, and then the little bubble, and then it's about all they do, but they're fairly accurate. And then I also built her logo, so that's her logo in the game, little Valkyrie helmet. I'm pretty pleased with that, especially for like the hour and a half of work I spent on it. So that was pretty last minute. I was building this about a week ago. So, and then this is her MPX. So let me grab that. So in the game, this is a rapid fire 9mm SMG. We actually did have an opportunity to go and research Pew, so I have shot one of these. Oh wow! So that was pretty fun. Nick built these wonderful charms, just like in the game. It has a working trigger, as well as I built a few attachments. However, the foregrip doesn't stay on, but as the flash hider, a reflex sight, as well as a working charge handle, and a magazine that you can reload. And that is all I had for Valkyrie's loadout.
Yeah, that's great. Lots of playability you incorporated in there, though. That's always really cool. And then, yeah, the mosaic and stuff turned out well, too. All the different angles on there and stuff.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very pleased.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So then I think we've got the final section of the layout here.
Yeah. So one of the final things that a lot of people have are the deployable shield. So as a defender, we defend and block things. Why we kind of want to do this entire build was we thought it'd be really funny to actually defend our table. So in the game, we actually have a shield that deploys. So you bring it in, you drop it down, and deploys up. But the Lego one doesn't really work and doesn't really stand that well. But it was really fun to build. So my character that I chose was called Rook. Rook is basically, he provides a box with a lot of sweaters, and has a P90 pistol. So this is one I built. Once again, Nick helped me a lot with the design. So when I was building this, I was on Discord chatting with him, sending him pictures of the what do you think, what do you do. So he helped me kind of with a lot of the back, whether or not I should do like a quarter plate offset or half plate or full plate. But this is a very nice, really fun build.
It's a crazy looking weapon.
It's a really odd size for an SMG, but it does have a working charging handle, working pistol, and you could actually take the entire mag out and put it back in if I wanted to. The other gun that I have for Rook is actually the P90 pistol. I did not actually build this. This was built by Evan Bordessa when we were at Alex's house for about 4 hours. So while it might not be as polished as Nick's, it does have a working working charge handle, working trigger, and a bit of, and this is the weakest part, the hammer. But given that this was basically a 4-hour build off of material that he didn't really know, but he just thought it'd be really fun. So, as I was saying, for Rook's character is he drops a box of basically armor vest for everyone to wear. So what we thought would be really funny that I didn't tell these guys is I don't know if you noticed, we all have custom t-shirts. Yeah. So when I showed up, I didn't tell them I was bringing this, and when we opened it up, it had everyone's customized t-shirts based on the person they built.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's not really too functional, but it does open up, and you can take a look inside.
Nick Brick getting the like and subscribe in there as well.
Yes, smash that subscribe button.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, was it difficult to create the sides of the carrying case there? A lot of slopes.
It's a lot of slopes, and it's not the actual one in game. You can actually pick it up. This one you really couldn't. I could have designed it that way, but then it would just been really heavy. And given that it was mainly more for a joke, I didn't want to spend too much time or effort. But it was, yes, I put on a lot of slopes and stuff, and I may have spent more time than necessary trying to write the GIGN, which is the operator type or the country they come from. But overall, it was fun build. Like this is the whole point of this build to me. It was we play this game a lot. It was really silly for a concept to build a defense around our table, but it was just really, really funny and really, really fun.
Yeah, well, the whole thing turned out great, so thank you so much for what you did for the collaboration and everybody else. It's an excellent layout, so I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.